Hey everyone, it's Wen Lee coming to you from Fate of the Empress, and you can just call me Wen. So, we have today on the docket for talking about is Inscribe Crystals. So, these are the ones in Gear Elevate where it says Inscribe, and you have this crystal that you add to your gear, and it adds stats. So at first in the game, you're going to come up with blue ones and then purple ones, and there's really not much you can do to those to make them any better. They're pretty much just wait to do anything to make them better until you get at least epic golden ones. But really, you don't want to do much to them until you get to the blaze ones. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the epic crystals. You can start polishing them. I'm not going to be doing much polishing right now because I just did a ton. I made this one godly. But I will talk about the process and kind of what is available and what your options are. So this is an epic crystal. I think this is the first kind that you can polish. Polish is this little golden crystal here. You can find it in a couple of different places. It's definitely given out in certain events occasionally, but you can find it in the shop, exchange, crystal. And when you break down these purple crystals and epic crystals, it gives you this crystal shard, which then allows you to purchase. And yeah, you can purchase these epic ones, but really if you're patient enough leveling up the game, eventually you're going to get overrun with those. They're going to breed in your inventory like bunnies. I've ground them and ground them and ground them and made them into these crystal shards a whole bunch. And I buy polish stones with the crystal shards. You can only buy 50 in a week, so do be aware of that. And it takes a lot of grinding these down to make 50 in a week. Like, I can show you the process because I do have some epic crystals that I don't mind grinding. All right, so to disassemble it is 500. So you'd have to disassemble 2 epic crystal inscribe crystals in order to get 1 polished stone in the shop. And it takes 3 polished stones to polish an inscribe crystal. So you can see the exchange rate is like use 6 epic crystals to polish 1 time. So this is not something you want to be doing with your epic ones very much. I mean, just enough to get a couple good stats and like leave that alone. Because when you get to the fabled ones, let me show you, there's something that changes. So inscribe. So you'll see here this evolve thing. And to evolve a fabled crystal, you have to polish 60 times. That's a lot of times to... Oh, I guess epics only cost 2 to polish. Sorry. And... oh, now that it's godly, it costs 5. So the price changes for polish, I guess. But the point is that you're going to have to polish 60 times 3. So that's 180 polish crystals to get it to godly. And when you get it close to godly, you want to start looking for stats that you want for that hero. So I really wanted evade, and I mean attack is always nice because I'm a guard, but crit damage resist is really good too, like making sure that you're getting some of those things that you want. Once you're really close to that 60 mark, then start using polish locks to hold on to the attributes that you want when you're polishing. So, and polish locks are not easy to come by, really. I mean, I have 108 right now, but that's because we just had market battle and they're in the market battle shop. So do be aware that polish locks are not easy to come by, so you may want to save those until you're almost polished to godly and then start using a few. So that's how I got this blaze hood with EVA, and stuff. So also, the higher the quality of the Inscribe crystal, the more stats you get, which is fantastic. I got this. This is pretty good. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I'm out of polished crystals, and I don't have the polished locks to keep doing that right now. All right. So 3 for epic, 4 for fabled, and 5 for godly. Okay. So that's the basic rundown about these Inscribe crystals. Like, don't bother polishing your epics much at all. Really hang on to your polished crystals until you have these fabled ones to use, and then start polishing them so you can get them to godly, because the increase in stats is going to be amazing. Not only does it give you more stats options, but the amount of stats to get, like, this is almost fabled, 18%, and in the epic one, I think it's like maybe 13% is max. So, like, it's a big jump in stats just between the different inscribed stone qualities. So do be aware of that. Like, you don't want to be wasting your polished stones like I did at first on these epic ones. I mean, a couple times to get like a good stat is fine, but while you're waiting to get your fabled, but once you have your fabled ones, start polishing them for godly. You know, pick one at a time, like I did with this blaze one. I polished a few times just to get like better stats on them, but I'm working on this one next to get it to godly. So these are fantastic ways to increase your pure stats and things that you won't know starting out in the game. If you want more information on this, check out Geod's YouTube channel and his live takeovers. Like, he will talk a lot about the different stats and what they're for and which hero you want to use those for. Definitely check out Geod's channel for that. But I just wanted to give you an idea of the evolution of Inscribe crystals and how to use them properly. I'm definitely not a stats person. That's something, like, I'm not a math brain, but I have a lot of fun with this game, so I do want other people to kind of understand the process at least, so that they can know how to spend their resources or how to get the resources. So speaking of how to get the resources, another really great place to get polished stones and locks is this market battle. So when your guild is up for market battle, make sure that you're sitting, because not only is it going to get you, so you come in here and you click in this spot and then it'll open up and then you sit at a stall. It doesn't interfere with your gameplay. You can even log off and it still counts as long as no one kicks you. And you get these coins for the market battle shop, and there's like really great loot in here. I mean, gear refined stones are great, like if that's something you're working on. Polished stones and polished locks. Those are like probably my 3 favorite here, and my very favorite is polished locks because it's really, really hard to get them outside of here. I mean, they do have them in the shop, I think somewhere for ingots. Let's see if I can find them, because I never buy them here. I wait until market battle and then buy some afterwards. Here it is, 50 ingots for 1 polished lock. So I got 5,000 ingots worth of polished locks a couple times over, like 10,000 ingots worth by doing market battle. And like the best way to do that is sitting in central or dock. But if you don't have a ton of might, or if you have an aggressive division, then you're going to get kicked. So just sit where you can comfortably and get what coins you can and move on from there. Okay, so that is my rundown on Inscribe Crystals. I definitely find them to be very fascinating and super, super helpful. I did not understand them completely until recently. Like, I just barely made this one godly yesterday. So, highly encourage you to hold on to your polished crystals and don't buy too many of those epic ones in the shop, because you're going to be sad that you missed out on buying polished stones. At least I would be. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful, and if you have questions or comments, please leave them below. I do answer questions regularly. I try to check at least once a day. And if you like my content, please subscribe and help each other out.